on the children, we thank you for coming back for this year Gullah Geechee Gwine on Nayshun Nyews. This year the Queen Quet, head from the body of the Gullah Geechee Nation. And we the crack we tea to leave it with Tamar-Kali this year day. And yeah, honor to look wrong and honor to study about where we the day at and thing like that. We ain't there for knowledge. Honor to see all this traffic and thing like that. We there in Brooklyn, New York. So yes, here in Brooklyn, it's very interesting to know the amount of Gullah Geechees that actually are in Brooklyn. You would be surprised. And you would also be surprised the varying things that they do. And that's part of this show. It really leads back to a word that you used earlier, deconstructing. And I really feel like with this program, we're deconstructing a lot of mythological beliefs, is what I call them, about what a Gullah person looks like, what a Geechee person does, so on and so forth. Because a lot of people just have us relegated to only staying on the Sea Islands, only making baskets, or only picking cotton, only working in indigo, and of course, always eating rice, okay? So that's why with the Gullah Geechee Gwine on, we try to show folks other glimpses of what Gullah Geechees are doing around the world. And so we know, again, with your style of music, that's one thing that most people would never really think about. When they think about music with Gullah Geechees, they think of the spirituals, but they don't tend to really see, like you say, the evolution of the music. And so it's interesting to even look at one of your shows. And like you said, and some folks just watch a little clip from one of your shows with all the women playing music. But I've seen some of your shows where you have been fronting, where you have the male band behind you, or blend of male and female and everything in the group. And I know that you go from, like most musicians, you go from love songs, one might say, to things that, as you said, are more hardcore and in your face and dealing with a lot of issues. And one of the things that I know some people go online now and go to YouTube and they'll find a music video that you've done called The Boot. Because I've even had people email my office and say, Queen Quet, do you have a daughter? Because it looks like I'm watching your daughter on YouTube. And I'm like, my daughter on YouTube? What you talking about? And then finally when they would send a name, I'm like, oh, that's my cousin. And they're like, but then the little girl in the video is your daughter, right? And I'm like, is her daughter or your daughter? I'm like, it's neither one of our daughters. But that video is so interesting. What is that song really getting to?
The song topic is a little different than what we depict in the video. And by the way, the little girl is the director's sister.
Okay.
It's so funny because people are always like, is that your daughter? Yeah. And so it was really great casting. And I think she was 12.
Wow, she did a good
excellent job.
Yeah, she really did.
She was the rock star that day. We were just all about her.
Right.
The song is actually about how the disease of self-hate in our community makes us easy prey for people who are looking to exotify. And in this particular song, I'm talking about a black woman whose beauty is not being seen by her own community. And because of that, as a young woman, her vision of herself is not one where she's empowered. And so she's taken advantage of by the first person that calls her beautiful.
Gotcha.
And, you know, growing up in the 80s, we know a lot of how we played the dozens and how we interacted with each other. The schisms in our community in terms of Caribbean to African American and blah, 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 and even within the Caribbean corridor, whether you came from a Spanish-speaking Caribbean island or if you spoke Asian, and you know, just the pecking order in our own community and how we inflict pain upon each other, and we leave ourselves in pieces, like very vulnerable to folks who might not have your best interests at heart, who desire you, but for what purpose? And so that's what that song is about. But what we depicted in the video was just basically giving a new face. Well, first of all, there's the whole female thing. You don't often see little girls rocking out in videos. And then to see a little black girl, just to broaden the face of who might be, you know, practicing now for the future and what their interests might be. Just like,
and really expanding the mind in terms of that. Again, getting out of the box. And it's interesting that all those dynamics you talk about in terms of the self-hatred, because as you know, for a long time, people didn't want to be called African. that look like you and I. That was a fighting term. And then don't call them Geechee. Oh my goodness, now you want to fight for real. You know, we gonna cut each other, we gonna shoot each other because you call me a Geechee. And that, again, we've learned, people have internalized that self-hatred where they don't even want you to talk about it. You know, you say, well, let's talk about home. You know, ain't you Gullah? Oh. And they shut up on you, you know.
Which goes back to this whole thing. You know, we're part of the African diaspora.
Exactly.
It is a beautiful mosaic.
Right.
It includes, you know, and in terms of the new world, there are so many different styles, you know.
Right, it means of expression.
Exactly. I feel like we're a bit akin to the Maroons in the Caribbean,
absolutely,
in the mountains, because we were left to our own devices on the island. So it's in that spirit. But our story translates across so many different sectors of the whole diasporic experience.
Absolutely.
So, you know, for us to now put ourselves into a box individually, it just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. You know? It doesn't. And you know me, I'm always the one to kick the walls of the box down. You don't get time to build it around me. I'm kicking it down. So that's why I love the way that you express yourself in your music and all the different forms that I've been able to hear. I'm just mad because, you know, I can't get no CD or nothing like that. But I heard it through the grapevine that your CD is coming out this year.
I have an album coming out in the fall.
Excellent.
It's called Black Bottom.
Black Bottom. Now, now you shouldn't have went there. Now, Black Bottom, we had to work bottoms. We think of the South, we could be going down in the bottom, or we could be talking about the bottom with a little bit of shaking, you know.
And it's all that.
It's all that.
It's all of it.
It's all of that. Okay. And now that's interesting because one of the things that we definitely want our audience to see is some of the other things you do. When you're not on the road, you're not traveling with your guitar, they might just see you dancing. And so when we're talking about bottoms, I want the audience to just tune into something I had a chance to see here in Brooklyn. So, Hana Chillin', Disya, the what Gwine on.
The key to this movement is to not go, we want to come from together to deep. Got it? Engage to deep. Deep. So you never go out and you just want to engage to deep. 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 8 times, okay? Find your